Well, hello everyone. I'm Marcus Burnett, and I'm trying something a little bit new this time. I haven't seen other folks do this. Maybe I missed it, but um, Jamie Marsland has put out a number of speed build challenges, and I wanted to tackle one that Brian Gardner and Nick Diego did about, I don't know, a little over a month ago, back in May. From the time that this is coming out, and I wanted to just see how far that I could get in 30 minutes as well. Now I'm going to be using different tools than they were using. I'm going to be doing it in Elementor, but I've gone ahead and just grabbed the InstaWP link that Jamie Marsland provided that has all of the media files already in it, and we'll add remove plugins as necessary there. So I don't want to take too long. I want to get into it. I do want to just, add the disclaimer that, of course, I did watch the video of the speed build. So I have seen the site, which they don't have access to before they hop on. So I do have that advantage over them already. But other than that, I'm going to be trying to grab some fonts and colors and all of that along the way as well in building this in Elementor. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to hit start on this 30-minute timer, and we'll see where we are. So the site that we're doing is this Pixel Goat. I'll just scroll down here for a moment and see there are some cards here, kind of a tag cloud, some other blocked designs, lots of iconography and colors. So we'll see how far we get. And on this side, I have just the InstaWP install that was shared. And if I go to the back end, you'll see that in the plugins, there's not a whole lot going on with SVG support in Gutenberg, which I will just go ahead and deactivate now because I won't be using that. And I'll just delete it. So it doesn't show that I have a plugin to update. And if I go to the media library, you can see that all the media is there. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to add Elementor. And that's what I'm going to use to build this page out. So let's activate that. I'm going to quickly update this just because it's going to drive me crazy to see that there's an update available. I'll skip this for now. I do actually want to use the Hello theme. That is the one that I usually use when I'm building Elementor sites. And I'll skip everything else for the moment. Get back to our site. Well, I thought we were going to jump into a WordPress update here, but that's all right. All right, let's get started here. I'm gonna, first things first, not now. I'm going to just kind of clear things out for us by setting this to canvas. Now, normally I would build a header and footer template and all of that, but for the sake of time, like the folks that are doing the speed build challenge, I'm just going to kind of leave it as is. So I'm just building this one page. So let's start with maybe a background color. I can color pick that, and we can go over to, let's see, site settings. Nope, not site identity, background. And we'll give ourselves this color. All right. Good start. Let's update that and close it. All right, so I need a section up here for logo and menu and a book a call button. So let's start with a container. I'm going to add, actually, let's see. Let's go ahead and add our pieces in. I need an image. I don't know if Jamie added menus in this InstaWP install. So, let's see. Let's see what we end up with. Well, these are all locked. I'll just do it with links. And button. And let's see how I want to handle these. Oh, I'll just do text editor for now. Keep it simple. We have a running clock here, so I don't want to overthink it too much. Let's go to our media library and grab our logo. I think I need to throw, let's look at this container. Layout. Switch it to this way. And I am running these side by side here, and it's running out the side a little bit, but that's okay. We'll deal with that for now. Book a call, and that has a not quite black, I don't think. Background. And a little bit of a box shadow, so just sort of gonna eyeball this one. Let's call it 10 pixels, 10 pixel blur, and maybe we'll tuck it back in a little bit, and we'll bring down the opacity. I'm not going for pixel perfect version of what's over there at the moment. All right, and give myself a little bit more room here to see what I have going on. And I basically, I need these links. Portfolio, how it works, benefits, pricing. Portfolio. How it works. Benefits. Pricing. Yeah. Let's close that up. I don't remember if all of those were. Yeah, so login's not even an option on the main one. So we'll just stick with those. Let's see. Let's figure out some sizing here, maybe. Let's space between, and that'll put a button and logo on either side with the menu in the middle, and we'll center align this just to line everything up. All right, the last thing I need to do here is on this side. This is a sticky header, so it scrolls with you, and there's a background color. So let's make this position, where was it? It's under one of these. Motion effects, here we go. And it looks like I need Elementor Pro for that. So let me hit pause on the timer and go grab Elementor Pro real quick, and I'll be right back. All right, and we're back. Elementor Pro has been installed, and I also went ahead and updated WordPress to 6.5.5 because it kept asking me to, and I wanted to go ahead and get that out of the way. So we're back here where we were. I'm going to go ahead and hit start back on the timer. Probably should have gone ahead and installed this with the timer running, like would have been the case with one of the speed build challenges, but that's not really the point, sitting here and watching someone install a plugin. So I figured I'd go ahead and hit pause on the timer and do that and get back to what this is all about. So let me hit start and we'll get back into building this some more. All right. What I was trying to do is I was trying to make this sticky, which is under advanced and motion effects for some reason and sticky top. And now, well, it doesn't scroll at the moment because there's not enough content, but presumably that will flow over our content as we scroll down. So spent almost 10 minutes working on this header. So I'm going to move on and get to this next section here. Looks like I basically need 2 columns. So let's come back over here to, let's just do a grid for this one. And we'll do 2 column grid, 1 row. I'm going to need, let's see, heading on the side. I'm going to need, and I'll just lay these things in and we'll add the real content afterwards. Let's see, that ended up over there when I really wanted it on the side. I'll figure that out in a moment. I think I may have needed to put containers in here. So let me do that. Let me throw a container in, and then we'll add the heading in the container. Try to anyways. Heading in the container. Nope. Come on, you can do it. Heading into the container. There we go. And the text editor underneath the heading. We're getting there. All right, I need an image. Well, let's do another container on this side. So we're doing the same. I don't know if I needed it, but we'll do an image over here. We'll go ahead and pick that. That should be this one. Let's see. Let's go ahead and set these items to be aligned center. Need a couple of buttons still. So toss a button here, and I'll just duplicate that for our 2 buttons. Let's go ahead and add our text. Copy that. Paste it in here. Think maybe I'll get this on 2 lines kind of this way. Maybe not exactly how I would normally do it, but to get the different colors, I'll just go ahead and do that. Let's close up our row gap a little bit here. Get things closer. Let's see. Copy this text here. Well, it's also on 2 lines, but we'll see how it looks once we get, well, it looks like it's intentionally on 2 lines, so let's put it on 2 lines. This button is going to say see plans, and it's going to be the same, essentially the same style as this one. So I'll copy and paste style. And then this one is going to say watch intro video. And let's see, it needs an icon. And let's style this up a bit. Color is going to be none. I'll just make it transparent. Text color. We've got this almost black that I think that should be as well. 1A, 1A, 1.7. So back to this one. Let's do 1A, 1A, 1.7. Same for this thin border all the way around. And I'm going to make that color as well. And now we need to get these next to each other. So let's hop over to advanced and make this one inline. And then I should be able to do the same here, and that should put them next to each other, I think. Not so much. Well, let's try a different way. Let's put a container here. And we'll toss them both into this container. And they still want to stack. Let's see what I'm missing here. No, this one's not in the container. Doesn't want to go in the container. There we go. That's what I thought. All right. I'm going to say that this is that same black color. And I'm going to create a new global color here, so we can use that. Let's see what color this orange is. Maybe we'll look at the font while we're here as well. Let's see, color. Well, it says it's black, but it's clearly not. Color text default. Interesting. Gradient. It's a gradient. Well, I'm not going to worry about making it a gradient right this moment, but I will pick this orange color. And let's see what our font family is. Sophia Pro Black. I don't know if we have access to that or not. So let's see. Text color. This orange color. And I'll give ourselves that as well. We're a little over halfway through our time here, so I think I'm spending a little bit too much time on the details. Let's skip down to the next piece in just a second here. Size 20 pixels for that. I just want to kind of get the sizing a little bit closer here. 20 pixels. And give it a little space at the top here. All right. I think I've tinkered with that too much already. It's not perfect. Fonts are a little bit different still, but need to move on. This one I can see the button doesn't line up along the edge here, so no, I'm gonna keep that. Let's see. I think maybe I just need to zero out the padding. There we go. Okay, let me hit update. We're gonna move on. Move on to the next section. We've done work for top brands. That should be fairly simple here. Let's grab text editor. We've done work for top brands. And center that up. It's a little smaller. I'm not going to worry too much about how much smaller. Yeah, maybe somewhere around there, and slightly higher weight, maybe not even that much. Somewhere around there. Then we'll do another grid, this time with 5 columns, 1 row, and we'll just toss an image into each one of these. This one is Amazon, Amazon. Some strange positioning happening here. That's all right. Let's duplicate that a couple times here. We'll figure that out in a moment. Duplicate. So now we have all 5 of these. We have phonetics. This one is Samsung. Groupon. And share grid. Let's see what my options are here for this grid. Let's make them all aligned center there, and maybe we'll increase some spacing here. It's actually quite a bit smaller. Maybe something like that. All right. Again, not going to overthink it. Just got to move on to the next piece, which would be these cards. Let's see how I want to do this. I need a heading and some text, but I'll come back to that because I want to actually get to doing one of these cards since we're down to 10 minutes already. Let's see. I'll do a container. That container is going to have this Groupon background, I guess. I believe that's in... okay. So we have a background here that does not contain the logo. That's fine. That's to cover for that. Maybe a bottom right positioning. Maybe a center right positioning. I don't know. We'll take a look at that in a minute. Let me get logo and some tags in here. So image. This is going to be the Groupon logo. And probably need to make that a bit smaller. Align left. And I don't know, maybe something like that. This needs to have some padding. Let's go. Yeah, let's stick with pixels for now. Let's do like 20 pixel padding. It already has the white background. So let's go to style and border. Let's give it a solid 1 pixel border. Let's give it a border radius of 20 maybe. Maybe that's a little much, maybe 16. And the color for that, let's see if I can color pick this 1 pixel. Looks like it's 2 pixels, but fine. This 2 pixel border, it's gonna be that color. All right, back to our grid. Let's get this the right number of rows and columns. This is now a little too big because it's in percentages. I don't really want it in percentages. I want it to be roughly that size no matter what. Let's add another container for these tags here, and probably shouldn't be buttons, but they look like buttons, so in this case, I'm going to make them buttons. Again, if this was a real website design, I would be trying to pull these with a query loop and grabbing them in and not making them buttons. But for the sake of speed, in this case, I'm going to make them out of buttons. So this one will say UI, UX design. This one will say mobile. And let's see. Style-wise, it's going to be, I don't think I saved our background color here. I believe it's the same as the background color. So the global color, tan. Sure. And our text color is going to be our dark gray. Typography, we'll make this normal. And we'll paste that style there. Last thing I need to do is zero out the padding again so it's lined up on the left side, and give it some spacing on the top here to kind of open this up a bit. All right, down to 5 minutes left. Let's see. Probably need to wrap this in another container to get this down here. Again, need a heading above. Starting to run out of time here, so sure. It's actually, the time does go by a lot quicker than I expected. Just watching the folks do these design challenges and thinking through all the things that they need to kind of replicate a design, going back and forth between wrapping things in containers and not having containers, and time does go by kind of quickly. So I'm not even going to get to this 12 design patents on the side here. That would just be another grid block probably, with this grid column being a bit wider than this one and holding this content in it. This is easy enough to duplicate, change the background here to the Fanatics phones. So if I go to edit container, change this to whichever one is for Fanatics. Not sure what happened to my logo, and there we go. Took a second for them to come in. This changes to the Fanatics logo. Yeah, that's the wrong one. This one in color. And, change these to whatever they're supposed to say. Duplicate that whole thing again for ShareGrid and Samsung. We've got about 3 minutes left, so I'm actually going to skip this section and just get down to trying to maybe do 1 or 2 of these real quick and see what I can come up with. So for that, I'll do a container here because now we're on a white background. So hop over to style, change the color background. Nope, not overlay. The actual background itself to white. And make sure we have a bit of spacing all around. think we already do from having these gaps here, the 20 pixel gaps. So let me toss a grid inside there. And this is 2 by 3. And then inside each of these, we need an icon and a heading. Yeah. I needed to add a container inside this again to wrap everything. So, container inside this grid that contains the icon. Yeah, this gets a little squirrely over here. You know what? Let's just delete the icon and the heading and work with the container. So again, under a minute left here. Icon, heading, and some text. Won't worry about styling all of this, but let's see this icon. The lightning bolt. Let's style it up. It's going to be to that side. The primary color is going to be our orange. Bring the size down a little bit. And that's time. Anyways, I'll hit save on this. That's as far as we got. Probably from here, I would make sure that this container has a background color that's the same color as our page. Update the text for what it's supposed to say. I didn't even get to really messing with the fonts, and I skipped a couple of, headings and stuff here. Like I said, this actually ends up being quite a bit more time consuming than I expected. We do have our heading up here that is sticky and floats across the top, but I didn't set a background on it. So as it goes over some of the content, it, kind of meshes with it to some degree. And then we have some, odd cutoff here where, this all lines up nicely. And for whatever reason, this ended up outside of that and isn't adhering to. I'd see what that's all about actually real quick. I'm curious. So because we have it set to content full width instead of boxed, I think. Yep. We set it to boxed and let those things load back in. The logos and the tags should have a little bit closer to what I was envisioning. Also, no mobile anything done. This is not a real menu. So there's definitely some work to be done to kind of finish this up. But I think a lot of the main pieces are there. Not bad for 30 minutes. This is all simpler and variations really of, what's done up top here. Yeah. So anyways, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed watching me do the speed build on my own in Elementor, and kind of see how I walk through those things, then let me know in the comments below and like this video, and I'll, maybe jump back and do some of the other ones that Jamie has had. I'll also leave a link to Jamie's speed build with Brian Gardner and Nick Diego that did this with full site editing and Gutenberg and the block editor and all of that. So yeah, let me know if you enjoyed this. I'll do some other ones, but yeah, it was fun and just wanted to try something new. Till next time.